like somebody's been coloring in here. Coloring
That was
paint.
laying out in the parking lot.
Oh, it was?
I picked it up, threw it away, it was all wet.
Must have had so many families in here coloring or something.
Yeah,
See what they thought of it when they left out here.
that was laying out there, and then there's a plastic water jug that was froze laying out in the parking lot. I got that in the sink draining out.
Hadn't been open.
It was open, but it's 3/4 of the way froze, so. All right, 9 o'clock. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Gold, aye.
The minutes. Any discussion on them?
I read them, saw everything appeared to be good.
I had no problem, so I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I will call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Gold, aye.
Claims.
I saw one claim with the, to Raycom, and it was marked maintenance for $16,000. It's under the E911 surcharge. Can you get a copy of the, can we see a copy of the bill?
You said it was out of E911.
Yeah.
$16,418.22.
Yeah.
Takes its sweet time. It's not posted yet, but it should.
Okay.
What, it's coming. So we print it?
Could you please?
Now that we can print to here.
They're on sale, Walmart, $8, the new one.
What is? The planners?
Yeah. Already scheduled stuff for January and February already.
Yeah.
Time flies.
It's sent, it's just taking time.
I printed earlier, so it should be.
It's like watching paint dry when you're standing there.
I
Won't do
get
it.
it. That little guy must be the,
Right here, I can zoom in if you don't, we're out of there. Maybe. Just a little smaller. This is paging
Dial
system.
pagers. It's on the paging system, not the radio system.
Okay.
No, it shouldn't be if it was out of 4010, so. So is that a yearly one from Dean then?
I would assume that would take care of the paging system. I would move to approve the claims.
I'll second.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Rules aye. Cheers down.
I think Myron is gonna come in or call for number 5 or something. Because I don't have a date or anything from him.
ISD was in the claims too, right?
Yep, and that will be the last one.
Yep.
And then because we paid one the last claim run, those 2 will get reimbursed,
Okay.
and then we'll do that final.
Okay, what that IST is, that's that gas line inspector company.
Mm-hmm.
And they mailed me,
The flash drive.
flash drive.
That's just something we have to keep on file if somebody wants to see it, correct?
Yes. Speaking of the devil.
I just had to say your name,
Lines and
Myron.
all.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Merry Christmas. 280.
Okay, we'll go right into Deb.
I don't know if you got a copy or not, but here's a very short and sweet one.
Okay.
Deb's going to retire the 30th of January. The replacement has been advertised, and Alicia and I are working on putting a schedule for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week of doing interviews.
Good selection that applied, it looked like.
17.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Maybe a few of them can drive maintainer?
Hey, there's days I might trade and do that. If Myron would let me.
So can I get a motion to accept the retirement?
I would move to accept the retirement from Deb Cummins.
I'll second.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Name and I.
Bull's eye.
There you go.
No, I guess you want one of those initialed from them, probably.
Yep, yep.
How many years was Deb with you?
It'll be 5 in January.
Okay.
It'd be hard to replace, huh? Good.
Like to thank her for all of her service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had, 20 plus years at the school before that, so.
And we just got her trained in this new time and attendance and doing all well, and now we gotta train somebody again. Are you gonna have
Do we
overlap a
initial
little bit?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm hoping 3 to 4 weeks of overlap, so.
Yeah. And then we're always available too to help.
There's Anna, but she's early.
No, I intend on getting the new person in during the first of the year as quickly as possible, and that'll give us 3 to 4 weeks of overlap.
It's signed.
I've got a copy, I just know that Haley wants one for her records.
But Myron might wanna be on discussion here for number 9,
I'm sticking around for number 9.
if you wanna jump to that.
Okay.
So since our payroll falls next week, the earnings are all December, but the pay date would be January 1st, which is a holiday. So with ACH, the automatic deposits and stuff won't go probably in their banks until the 2nd. But with the payroll, you know, we can pay state taxes and stuff twice a year, so Alicia's already done those. So she's recommending we keep it the January 1st date, just because of all the wages and the wage reports we do, and how we do that with the fiscal year end in June, because the salaried employees, we can't go above what you guys approve for the fiscal year salary. So we look at all that throughout the 26 pay periods is what we have done in the past. I know I've kind of reached out to some other counties, how they're handling this. Some of them divide it by days worked, salary divided by the, you know, like a 10-day period. So I don't know, what are your thoughts, Myron?
I don't know about thought-wise. So far in fiscal year '26, we've done 13 paychecks. If you date this one in 2025, it would be a 14th paycheck. How that affects Social Security and IPERS, which is figured on a calendar year, I don't know the answer to that question. From a budgeting standpoint, then if you did the 31st, you would only have 12 paychecks in the first half of fiscal year '26 between January and June. That may or may not affect an employee that's retiring between January 1st and June 30th next year, because they would earn less in that calendar year than what they may have figured. You will have 14 paychecks in the second half of calendar year '26 or the first half of fiscal year '27, that I think the likelihood is that you would have to take salaried employees divided by 27 pay periods for fiscal year '27, which is something we've had to do in.
Yep, it's been a while, but we did
It's
that
been
in
a
years
while, but
past.
it's been done multiple times, I think, in my tenure in the past, that those salary employees think they're getting paid less
They're
per
really
pay
not
period, but it figures out the same way for their salary for the
this year.
annual year because of one extra pay period. From when the funds are gonna be available between 12/31 and
January
January
2nd.
2nd, it's probably gonna be about the same regardless of which date you pick.
That's what I'm thinking. So
I think
Alicia,
it boils down to how it affects the employees on the Social Security IPER standpoint from a calendar year standpoint, and I don't have that answer.
Right. I think we're like, just from the feedback we've gotten from, we're gonna stick, if we can stick with the January 1st pay date.
That's what you're set up for.
What's
And
the
then
easiest?
The January 1st,
Just
right?
to leave
Because
alone.
because we've already submitted our 2 times the taxes this month. You know, not looking forward, Alicia's like, now going forward, we can adjust, like Myron said, the next fiscal year, or calendar in, because we usually do that salary override in June, the last payroll in June, to make sure those people are getting their salary to what we budgeted for.
Okay. Just let her alone, my opinion.
Gonna cause the least amount of problem.
Would it be?
I mean, I don't have a recommendation or a preference.
Right.
I know that
And
it
our-
has a potential of having an impact in either way you do it.
Yeah.
Probably,
And we'll send out an email because, you know, at that time, if somebody's paychecks was changed, we explain it to them why or. But as of now, yeah, we want to keep it January 1st.
Makes sense.
I mean, with the auto pay, it's gonna
And some
show
of
up-
those will show up
it'll
on that
show
day,
up
but,
at
you know,
the
it makes.
Close of the bank day on Wednesday.
Yeah. We're just being, you know, proactive for those that have maybe automatic payments coming out, but I would assume they would be on hold too
They'd be
because of the
on-
holiday,
yeah.
so,
No, nothing about it.
yeah.
Nothing's really gonna happen between 5 o'clock on the 31st and
Correct.
9 AM on the
Second.
2nd, for the most part.
So we're just kind of want to be back and just letting employees know that that's the situation.
We need to acknowledge that, or just,
Well, I think leave it as is because we're not changing anything at this point then.
okay?
Because that's our normal schedule.
Okay. Guess that's it, Mark.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas, Mark.
sooner.
Merry
All
Christmas.
right.
At least the guys won't have to work on Christmas Day this year. So far.
Looking strong on that one.
It's happened in a couple of years in a row.
Hey, Anna.
It's been a while. I wanted to first, so I came and asked, we had, with our truck situation, coming in different fiscal years, and then we had the opportunity to purchase another truck. We have that truck, however, the payments with the dealer have kind of changed, for our better, actually. And so I wanted to come and ask for approval to change that. Half of the payment would be due in January of 2026, and then the other half would be due in January of 2027. So it would hit two different fiscal years. 0% interest for us, but we have a 2026 chassis and a box that is able to be remounted in 5 to 8 years. So with that said, since we still have some funds available to use, I would like to request about 80,000 of that to come to North Benton for wages, stipends, and administrative fees. So it would still be about the same, the 220, but it would just be, 120 would be for the truck, and then 80 would be for North Benton for the administrative stipends and wages.
I don't remember if that can be used on wages.
Yes,
Anna?
In our policy, it is, yeah.
there's 40% of it that, of the total allotment that is allotted for wages, stipends, and administrative fees.
As far as how we pay that out as a lump sum, though,
We had, I had printed off a payroll
you need to show
report.
us the report and
Yep.
stuff to cover that they've already incurred that, and then we're reimbursing them with our policy. We have before on that too,
Yep.
so.
So it falls under the policy
But yeah, like she said, up to a certain percentage
Yep.
of the overall.
and you're,
I'm not taking the total 40% that's allotted out of my total allotment. I'm taking a percentage of that 40%.
and the payment schedule and everything falls within our budgeted amounts, Haley.
Yeah, we won't pay those until next April, the EMS claims, if you're submitting for January or. So she'd come in, when was that? September? You were here?
Something, yep.
So she got approval for that truck purchase, but since she's wanting to change that amount, that's why she's coming forward today. Or change how it's allocated, I guess.
You have the new truck now.
Mm-hmm.
You got two new ones, more or less.
Yes. Yes, we decided to trade in the other truck. We had thought about keeping it back as a backup to the backup, essentially. But then storage became an issue. Maintenance and all of that became a concern, and so we just decided that we would trade it, since we have two 2026 chassis now, that we should have minimal maintenance cost and issue.
Did you get quite a bit trade in on that?
I mean, we got fair market value of, what it's worth. You post it on Facebook Marketplace and, you might get a couple thousand, or you might post it with a government agency and you might get 10 or 15,000. You might try selling it on your own, you might get 120,000. But I think we got 7,500 for a trade-in.
That's just the chassis, the box is still yours.
No, that was the chassis and the
box.
chassis and the
What
box.
year was that one?
It was a 2017 chassis and the box, I believe, was a 2010, maybe.
It's only been through one or two remounts.
It had been through 2. And the ambulance manufacturer is out of business.
They said that they had it on me.
So, it wasn't able to, any parts or anything like that. We were lucky to be able to use, Kevin Clockey in Sterling, Illinois to get some parts, but he was very limited on what we had, so.
So overall, nothing's changed, it's just altering the schedule, is that what
Yeah.
we're looking at?
It's just moving the payment schedule around on the truck.
For 2 fiscal years. So a total of 80, well, actually it'd be 100, is that right?
So the truck would be 120, and then of that 220,000 that we initially thought, I wanted to take 80,000 and use that for the wages and administrative
And the
fees.
rest goes to the truck.
Yep.
I think it's a good thing, we're all updated and 2 new units.
Yep.
That should be a good thing for North Benton EMS, the ambulance service. The auditors within the guidelines, I don't see an issue myself.
You're saying 80,000 for labor,
Mhm.
right? And then 120,000 for the truck?
Mhm.
So she's actually only asking 200 versus the 220.
The 220,
Yeah, so you only want 200,000
Yep.
instead of the,
correct.
okay. Got it.
Yep.
But we're
No
splitting it
problem.
between the 2 fiscal years.
Yep.
So like,
I have no problem.
are you submitting 100 and 100, or how, do you know how you're doing
I will go back and.
that? Okay.
I'll
So
figure-
what I was gonna do in regards to that too is, budget time for me to know what carryover,
Yep,
so,
yep, and
As we go forward.
I can figure that out
Yeah.
for you.
and not just you, the other entities, but.
Sure. And so if you have time, I would quick update you kind of on EMS as a whole in Benton County and kind of things that we've been working on.
No, I haven't talked to Adam, so.
Okay. So we worked,
Thanks.
we worked as a MSAC council on coming up with a budget worksheet for 2026 and how the funds could be allocated. That took us a while. We worked with Derek, the assistant county attorney. We worked with Tracy on wording and coming up with things. Part of that was so we could figure out the allotments for each service and how they could break those down per the code, so that we had a better understanding of it. So fiscal year 2024, I think we had quite a few carryovers, just because a lot of services hadn't spent those funds because we were coming up with the worksheet. And we were already into 2025 already. But part of this worksheet, we asked for call numbers, run numbers. I asked for the last 5 years. So on that second page, kind of shows where we're at with call volume with Benton County Services. We've seen, an increase in 2020 to 2021. You could probably attribute that to the COVID-19 pandemic and the increased need for transfers. and just overall people calling EMS because they were sick. In 2022, we did have a slight dip, but then we kind of peaked out in 2023. We've had a modest decrease in 2024, but we were still higher than 2020 and 2022 levels. The numbers are obviously going to fluctuate year to year, but our overall medical patient acuity has increased. I've seen an increase with the patients that North Benton has taken care of the last several years, and then just hearing the calls go out in other parts of the county. Patients are needing an ambulance more often, and they're requiring more care. If you kind of dissect the 2024 numbers with the transporting services, North Benton carried the largest call volume, and then Belle Plaine and Blairstown kind of form that second tier of demand. Atkins, Urbana, and Norway respectfully attribute to the busiest first responder services, and then Van Horn and Schellsburg come in there pretty close. I also broke it down to just the Benton County services percentage of total county EMS calls per service for 2020 through 2024, so you can see those numbers there. Fund usage, like I had mentioned, we had kind of a substantial carryover due to the budget worksheet being created and deciding how those funds were going to be spent. It also had to do with completion time on vehicles being delivered. But we had a lot of services purchase medical supplies and equipment, use it towards education and training, and then building and grounds maintenance. In 2025 fiscal year, North Benton and Belle Plaine have been able to remount their ambulances. Blairstown has purchased a Tahoe for a paramedic fly car. Norway was able to purchase a Lucas device, which is an automated CPR device. We've been able to purchase cardiac monitors and ventilators. We've been able to put providers through their initial EMR or EMT trainings, and then a lot of services have decided to put funds into the reserve fund for future purchase of vehicles. 2026 fiscal year, with the budget worksheet, vehicle acquisition again, equipment, supplies are kind of the number one things that they're looking at, more training, and then, like I said, again, the reserve emergency fund is being utilized for future vehicles. Kind of collaboratively in the county, the EMS Association and the service directors from all of the Benton County agencies are working together to get one set of clinical guidelines or protocols for everyone, working on getting medications for our first responders to carry and have available to them. We're working with Dr. Dan Kinker, who has agreed to be a countywide medical director for Benton County. We have 13 services, first responder or transport services that are Benton County services. Currently we have 9 of those 13 that are wanting to affiliate and align with Dr. Kinker so that we have same supplies, same equipment, medications, guidelines. So no matter where you go, north, south, east, west, the care is all the same. The transporting services are continuing to work on standardizing medical equipment and supplies. We're working together to provide education and training opportunities for our first responders. And overall, we're working on strengthening the EMS system in Benton County. So I know that we haven't talked for a while or had anybody in here, and we're trudging on the end of the year, so I wanted to get in and kind of give you a quick synopsis of what's kind of been happening behind the scenes. Sometimes no news is good news, and we've had all good news this year with the funds and everybody working together, so.
Everything's been going a lot smoother now with the claim process, I feel like, doing the once a month, and
Yep,
everybody's kind of getting in their routine and knowing how we want to proceed, so.
yep.
The only thing I'm not happy with, we haven't got much responses for the out-of-county
Correct.
callers. I don't understand this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
They all
they
receive
receive the same
letters.
thing though, correct?
Have the,
Yeah.
What's that?
have the folks that came to the meetings responded?
They all got letters sent to them.
Yep,
I haven't
Through
seen
our
any claims though.
assistant county attorney. And they also got a copy of the 28E agreement that we wanted to have with them out-of-county services.
yep.
And I don't think it's nothing,
Actually, we did pay one to Walford or Fairfax.
They're actually, Walford is in Benton County.
Yeah, but the first responder unit was.
So the name,
they run
They
underneath
run-
Fairfax.
yeah.
Because I was gonna say, we paid
Yep.
Fairfax.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's the deal.
But the numbers that are included in here, they were able to break it down to what was in Benton County and what was in Lynn County. And once we have our next MSAC council meeting, which I'm supposed to ask if January 6th would be okay to have that meeting.
You're talking MSAC or
Yeah.
the EMS Advisory Council?
The advisory council.
I guess set it up and
Okay, well,
If Tracy is the only one that attends, I don't have to, but do you guys want, like, is it gonna be like your budget discussion?
no, I don't think so. I think it'll be going over the budget worksheets just a little bit more in detail, because I sent this report out to them this morning just to hopefully queue up some discussion points for the meeting. And then we can discuss the out-of-county services as well. So if we can get, Derek there, and just kind of figure out how we want to proceed with that.
yeah, 'cause I was really shocked that we didn't get any response.
Sure.
Some of those services were pretty adamant,
Yeah, I know it, and then
and we got
Unless they're
nothing.
gonna do it like in a lump sum.
But I think we had put some stipulations in there with complying with numbers, so that we had that for our data. And we had also given them a breakdown of our policy on how it could be spent and how the funds would then be paid out to them. So I would think that if you were going to see anything for this fiscal year, that some of that stuff would be rolling in.
but they got to sign the 28E agreement.
Correct.
I just had a quick question. On the 25 budget, what was your for year 25? The budget for, and then as opposed to 26, planning ahead? I'm just curious of the two numbers. Don't you have a yearly budget for everything? Is that what you're after?
So Haley gives us the number that is projected to come into correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong,
the
the
levies,
revenue.
what the
Okay,
valuation
okay.
brings in for dollar wise.
Yep, and so then we take that and we have a formula based on call volume, square miles covered, and there was one other population. And that gives each service their percentage of, we went off of $1 million. We kept some for reserve and some for the out of county services that do service Benton County.
Okay, I was just curious if you budgeted any sort of growth, like, cost increases for things and everything for next year. That's all I was,
Sure. Most of that has been done internally by each service, kind of knowing where they're at with equipment wise or what they're going to have, what they would like these funds to be used for the next year. So,
okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just curious.
yeah,
The total amount is a set
It goes
figure.
off the percentage, how much calls they got in their district and all that. Just going over, I believe you're 40% out of that, say, $1 million.
Yep.
She gets 40%.
Gotcha.
So anyway, the smaller ones don't get as big a slices of pie,
Gotcha.
understand? Like where I'm from, the first responders down there only get like 3%. So that's first responders, but then they get backed up from Blairstown ambulance if they gotta actually haul something. So, them kind of deals, you're actually paying 2 people for doing one job. Do you understand? First responders show up,
Yep. And then the others show up.
the ambulance shows up. Up here to Vinton, she's the only one that shows up. Vinton has no first responders. She does all the work. So,
Okay, thanks, just curious.
yep. Okay. Well, thanks, Anna.
yeah,
Very
Like I
nice,
said,
thank you.
Go ahead and set it up, I'd say,
Okay.
to January. Like I said, we can make it, people, hopefully, like it's been umpteen months that we actually got together,
right.
and I remember here 2-3 weeks ago, me and Derek were talking about this in his office, that he was shocked more than anybody, because he's the one that's been doing the work,
Yep.
sending the letters out
Yep.
and everything, drafting all this, and hasn't had a response.
Yep.
And I told him, I said, well, if I had phone numbers of all these places, I would call them, but I don't have, Center Points,
Probably do
Area
not.
Ambulance, I don't have any of them, but I said, maybe it wouldn't hurt to draft another letter and send it to them and say, what's your feelings, what are you thinking,
Sure.
I said, let us know.
They're just not utilizing it and we leave it in there, because that's still gonna go into the reserve then for the following year.
So, that's the way it was set up with me and Derek. And
Okay.
like I said, that's been a couple weeks ago now, that
Sure.
he's on vacation now, so.
Do we, 6:30, 7 o'clock, I don't know if you have another meeting before or after
I don't
on,
have my count,
okay.
it's New Year, so. That's on a Monday? Or
Tuesday,
It's a Tuesday.
No, it's all right then.
okay,
6:30,
6:30. All right,
another permitting.
yeah. And I'll check with Dean to see if we can have that at the EOC. Yeah, and then, and hopefully after that meeting, we can come back and give a more detailed report, but I just wanted to get this out there while it's still 2025 for a few more days.
Okay.
So, you're welcome. Thank you guys, have a Merry Christmas.
You too.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay. Sarah Wagner's vacation carryover.
I sent you that email yesterday.
Can you use it up by June? Is that?
Yep, which, like I said, I don't know what, that could be changing after the new year.
Yeah, how long did they estimate it would?
Well, what did we get told that that's gonna all change and she would be
No, they
absorbed in
wanted us to
another?
kind of lock in for, say, we would
We probably need to,
1 year.
That's what I
See,
thought.
I was hoping that they'd have their stuff together.
we need to figure
by
that out
1st of
before
January
budget.
here.
Yeah, we'll have to know before budget season, because what I have to budget for. And I thought, I was told by
I
Deb
guess
Guard that was,
I'm not looking to bankroll it 1st of July. They better have their stuff together by,
That's what they told us, it was
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a year.
It was
Yeah.
a year and that,
they said that then she would be under another,
Yeah.
We would just be the employer of
record.
record for 1 year.
well,
that was the deal.
so, I have no trouble with the carryover.
And we're getting, the reimbursements are coming like they're supposed to.
Yep, and I'm all settled up with the old region. So that
'Cause
was,
I get the email every 2 weeks about her.
yeah, he gets the updates and stuff, so
Okay,
we'll just ignore, do a motion to approve that.
okay, so can I get a motion to approve her vacation carryover till the June 30th?
June 30th? I'll make a motion to approve carryover vacation for Sarah Wagner, June 30th.
And I'll second that.
Call for a vote,
Tippit, aye.
Steve and I,
Bull's eye.
okay.
So I did get feedback on the department head meeting for a Monday morning at 10, so I'm gonna go back through and take my tally, but it looks like it's gonna be like the, hold on here, the 26th. Because you guys are still good with
I did, yes.
Mine's on the table yet at home.
January 5th, 19th, or 26th, or the 12th. So I'm gonna get that set up probably today, go back through and look at the
So it's
poll.
not in stone yet.
No, I gotta go back through and look who all responded, because I was waiting on a few, but,
That's fine. Then January 2nd, we're having our meeting, correct?
yep. So that's what I said to.
Friday?
Yep.
Right.
Do you still wanna
That's 9
have?
o'clock?
Yep, our normal time. Do you still wanna have one next Tuesday? As of right now, there's not a whole lot on other than EMS claims, so I figure we probably still better maybe just keep it routine, in case I find things that we need to add. And then you could maybe take that time, free time, and look through the directory and, discuss your appointments ahead of time, and look through some of the applications before January 2nd. I can bring all those in.
Sure.
Does that work? We'll just leave
That's
extra
all right.
time next Tuesday for you to do that.
Yeah, actually, bring them ones in that's got phone numbers for everybody.
Yes.
You got one of them?
Yep. Well, I can send you that spreadsheet again, that whole Excel sheet. I think I did the other
Yes.
day.
Mhm.
So if you go on there and
Got
look
it,
on those
yeah.
tabs at the
Yeah.
bottom, and then go through and look, they should have phone numbers if they
There's
provided
quite a
them.
few who's gonna be,
Oh, there's a bunch.
And they're highlighted in that spreadsheet I
Yeah.
sent you.
Yeah.
So,
There's a bunch.
but that way you guys can, discuss and look at them. And
You
we
just
do
keep-
need some, we had some resignations to Big Grove Township too. so.
yeah. I kinda started on that already, so.
Okay. And I can send you the preliminary agenda for that day too. Because then we have all those ECOG ones, so like Bruce Visser,
He's done,
you have to fill those vacancies and,
yeah.
and then you guys have to decide if you're gonna carry on on your other ones, subcommittees. Which I would assume since you've been attending them.
So then we'll meet next Tuesday,
Yeah, I think you might as well, and then you
Yep.
could have time, like I said, to do that.
Okay. How would that, is it legal? We have a short meeting, you get the list, and then we,
I think if I provide it to you, you're not taking action on it yet, you're just
I know, but
discussing.
if we could, all I wanna do is contact the ones that are up
Mhm.
for renewal or,
And see if they're still
yeah,
interested.
if they wanna be reappointed or,
I've spoken with a few just because I was told to ask them, and so
I get,
I'll make
you know,
notes.
when I'm sitting here, I can get stuff done for the county better than when I'm south of it.
Mhm.
I get too many phone calls and get sidetracked. Okay. All right, let's discuss this, flood insurance for the sheriffs.
Oh, I think that he has the original if you want to share it. That's,
Yeah.
we've done that every year.
And that's for the building north of the sheriff's
Correct.
office. They went up a little bit on coverage for price wise.
Does that include the weed department? It's in the same
I
building.
Yes.
don't think so.
I think it does. You don't think so? You
No.
could have a separate?
No, I think that's separate.
Must be do
There's
it.
usually 3 different policies.
Okay, so they must
that
be
we
due
do.
at different times.
Yeah.
I think you're right now that
I
you say
think
that.
this is the evidence and,
Yeah. Evidence storage should.
yeah. And then I didn't know they had furnace trouble there a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I just found that out.
Building trouble or,
Furnace itself,
Where at?
the weed department and the evidence room, I guess you
yeah,
call it.
yes. The evidence room is tied on with the weed office, and then the rest of the sheriff's office building has its own
Yeah,
furnace.
but it was the weed department one that went trouble anyway. That's all right to you?
Yeah.
Can I ask what the increase is? How much? Or is that?
$300 a year in premium?
Yeah, $300 of premium, but $10,000 for the building and $5,000 worth of equipment up.
And it
You know what I
also
mean?
increased the
The coverage.
deductible.
$110,000 for the building coverage and $105,000 of
Contents.
contents, yeah.
And it increased the deductible to 2,500 from 1,000,
From the
which
thousand?
is,
Which is, yeah.
Then
Everybody's doing
that's-
that.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody's doing that.
you're
I
doing
did
it
the
on
same
your
thing.
home, you're doing it on everything, yeah.
Increase the deductible, yeah.
Stops all the little, you know,
Petty claims going through.
Yeah.
All right, so then, guys look at it, can I get a motion to approve the flood insurance for the sheriff's office?
I make a motion to approve the flood insurance coverage for the sheriff's office.
I will second that motion.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Team and I,
Bull's eye.
done, okay.
You want this initialed?
Yes.
I did talk more with Isaac on our unemployment stuff. So he felt pretty confident that we could probably go with 0 for next year for the departments to budget because of that 81,000. He said if you look back at our history, the last 10 years, we haven't gone through even that amount, so. But for finishing out this fiscal year, I'm gonna leave it as is because we
Right.
budgeted for the 0.3%, so.
Okay. Makes
And
sense.
then I also reached out to Assured Partners, that Ryan Bevins,
Mhm.
gave him our fund balance stuff so that he can hopefully give us his estimate or what, what we should do for that buy down. If we should, because of the premiums that we get from ISAC, sometimes we increase that just to cushion that fund because we buy it down. So
Mhm.
hopefully that'll all come together here soon. I know over the holidays, it's hard to get everybody to reach back out to us.
Reports.
I didn't have any last week. The week before was pretty full for me.
I just had a Zoom yesterday with the East Central Iowa Workforce Development Board. We just went over invoices, was all. But I did want to mention something in the budget. I've asked Haley to give me some numbers as far as workman's comp, because we pay the difference between what the insurance pays on workman's comp, which is 80%, and what a person's wages are. So they're getting a full amount of pay while they're out for workman's comp. And I wanted to know what that number is that we're paying.
I'm gonna have Alicia do a report for him.
so that we can see just exactly, not many people pay above the.
That's what I mean, some of them are getting more than their normal take home, honestly.
Yeah. And then also look at the guidelines as far as returning to work. When they get released to come back to work for light duty, can we find them something to do instead of just waiting until they can return back to? Because we're paying all this money for really just watch Oprah. If she's not even on anymore. But I just wanted to see those numbers, to see what that is, because our workman's comp is, as you know, through the roof.
It's hard to miss.
Something to look at.
Once she provides that to him, I can share it with all of them.
Yes, if you would, that way we'll all have it. And one of that, but that's all I had for reports.
I had landfill last week, pretty quiet. Then windy, where they weren't taking any garbage in.
So they don't when it's that windy?
Do what?
They don't accept it when it's that windy?
Nope, they shut down all the landfill, Lynn County, Johnson County, they all shut down. You gotta hold it until one goes down.
So, last week, 100 and some mile an hour winds west of us.
Yep.
Jeez.
Craziness.
I had a package delivered last Friday in front of my garage door. And when I got back from deer hunting, it was not there. I asked my neighbor, and he said it's been really windy. Just the day before yesterday, someone in Norway delivered it. It was clear into the Norway Park from where I live.
Oh, my.
So it went around my house, past 4 other houses, and into the Norway Park.
That traveled quite a distance.
How did it survive? What was inside?
It was an adapter for my computer, and I thought it's a gutter, so now I have 2. 'Cause I ordered it again because I couldn't use my computer without it. So anyway, yeah. So I understand why they don't allow that.
Yeah, we had the same thing Thursday night. They stopped and put a package in. I mean, they could have put it by my back door with windbreak. No, they set her on the south door, on the stoop,
Thank God.
gone, come in and Lexus flashing that,
Well, I was waiting for the sun to melt the snow, thinking that maybe it blew in the yard or something like that, and then all of a sudden this guy shows up with it, which was really nice. I'm glad he did.
Or a dog ate it?
The corn stalk south of the house.
No, you found it.
Next morning, yeah, I found it. I mean, I could, sun come up, looked out the window, oh, there it is out there. Yeah. Okay.
You guys really didn't take action on the, Anna's, now that you say that.
On who?
Anna's.
Well, I was reading it.
I mean, you priorly approved the 220, so I guess
Yeah,
you
so you
approved
don't have-
up to 220, but she changed it.
Discuss and change,
So
and we changed it, we didn't vote on it.
I guess you're okay because then you're gonna approve the claims, right?
Right.
Okay. Then we'll let
That
it be.
wasn't my thinking, but
That's fine.
Doug, got anything?
A couple things. I was just curious, on the recycle bins that you have for the people from out in the county that come in and do recycle, how often is that emptied? People were asking about.
Is it Monday and Fridays still?
I don't know.
They come in, I know, I think it's twice a week, because they'll come
Okay.
get it and then it's gone while they're dumping it and then they
Right.
come back.
We don't do,
I know Friday mornings they
That's
usually do
all
it,
back
but
Which Mondays and what, or
Friday, I think,
Mondays and
at
Fridays?
least it used to be, but
Okay.
I can
I
try to
was just
find out. It's
curious.
Curdy's that usually comes and gets it.
Well, people were trying to bring stuff in, and a lot of people don't know to break down their boxes and stuff. There's
I
just
know.
odd little things, but I don't know if they read signs or anything.
We do
There's
put signs on there, and I've been over there myself, and then they dump it on the outside even when it's full on the inside.
Yeah.
And it sits there and gets wet and
But
crappy.
that's all that was one thing. Another thing was, I know you guys had sent, I don't know if you can talk about it, but letters to the union and to the department heads and stuff about Zoom for budget increase and the union thing. Did you ever get any responses back?
No, I haven't.
But
Okay.
you didn't actually send it to the department heads yet, correct? Because we're having an in-person meeting.
Oh,
Derek was supposed to do that when
Okay.
he left.
I didn't get it on one,
Because
so.
Yeah, because the way he had it worded, it was coming, he made it, but
Yeah, To
We
the
asked
unions?
him, yeah,
Okay, I don't know that the department heads received that, but I think the unions may have.
so,
And then the
yeah.
union will have to bring it to their membership for a vote.
Can you talk about anything further on this deal that was out there about the deputies that weren't sworn in for, you know, arresting people or anything? You can't? you don't have any
I was
further-
told that was nothing to worry about, so.
There's another word out there on the street about, there's another lawsuit brewing or something that has something to do with the sheriff's department. Is that true or not true? Don't know.
That I don't know.
Don't know. What else was there? Well, Derek isn't here, he probably couldn't say anything either, but I was curious about this Jennifer Zrodnik thing. Do you know anything further about that?
Or I know that suit is dropped.
It's dropped? Okay. See, that's why I was just curious. I was just things that have been hanging, I was just curious about, you know, how you were coming on stuff. But that's why I thought most of them would have been geared toward Derek. But, no, that's all I had.
Okay,
Pretty simple.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
okay,
I'll second.
call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Even I.
Bullseye.